The alien woman, Serenya, last of the Vyrthari race, walked in silence, eyes glowing like blue fire. Soldiers said her touch could kill. Scientists said her emotions could shake gravity itself. But the truth was stranger, she lived in a cage by choice. She spoke to no one. And she let no one close. Until the day a human engineer named Evan Hale accidentally brushed her hair. Evan arrives at Station Arclight, a large research base near a dead moon. He hears rumors about the dangerous alien woman kept in the secured wing. The crew warns him, avoid her. Do not speak to her. Do not touch her. Evan, curious but cautious, agrees. At first Evan sees Serenya behind a transparent energy wall. She sits perfectly still, long silver hair almost glowing. Other aliens fear her. Humans avoid the hallway entirely. Serenya watches Evan quietly, but her eyes show pain, not anger. Evan feels she isn't a monster, only alone. Welcome to my channel Sci-Fi Love Story. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. No one at Station Arclight dared to go near her. The alien woman, Serenya, last of the ancient Vyrthari race, was the subject of whispered warnings, hushed fears, and quiet dread. Soldiers avoided her corridor. Scientists muttered about her powers in private. Everyone claimed she was dangerous. She was kept in a reinforced, transparent cell, far from any human touch. But despite all the fear, Evan Hale, a young engineer, felt drawn to her. When he arrived at Station Arclight, he heard the stories. Don't go near her, the technicians said. Even looking at her can trigger her pulses. Don't make her angry. Evan wasn't scared. Curiosity had a way of overriding fear. And, as soon as he saw her, he understood why no one dared approach. She sat perfectly still, her silver hair cascading like liquid moonlight over her shoulders, her eyes glowing faintly like twin stars in the dim light of the station. There was something different about her, something not dangerous, but lonely. When the door to her observation wing slid open, Evan froze. She was closer than he expected. Her gaze met his. It wasn't angry. It wasn't hostile. It was searching. For a moment, everything else disappeared. The hum of the station, the distant footsteps of soldiers, even the warnings in his head, they all vanished. He took a step forward. A warning light flashed. The technicians shouted for him to retreat. He hesitated but did not move back. Then he heard her voice. Are you afraid of me? She asked, her tone soft but carrying an alien rhythm that made Evan's chest tighten. No, he said, trying to keep his voice steady. I'm not afraid. Her eyes widened slightly. No human had spoken to her without fear for months. Or years. The first few days were difficult. Every time Evan approached her observation cell, she watched silently. Sometimes, she tilted her head in curiosity. Other times, she didn't even look at him. He started leaving small things near her cell. A cup of water, a mechanical trinket, a book of human art. Each time, she ignored them. But Evan noticed something. Each time he left the room, her hair would shimmer faintly. A subtle pulse, almost like a heartbeat. It made him wonder if her emotions were controlling it. Could she sense his presence even when he wasn't there? The station was unusually quiet one evening. A power surge caused the lights to flicker. Alarms screamed through the corridors. In the chaos, one of the cell doors malfunctioned. It opened for 12 seconds. That was all the time she needed. Serenya stepped out. She didn't rush. She didn't scream. She didn't attack. She moved with grace, almost floating over the cold metal floor. Evan was trapped in the hallway. His heartbeat slammed in his chest. Stay back, he shouted instinctively. She stopped. Her glowing eyes softened. I will not harm you, she said. Her voice was calm, not commanding, not threatening, just calm. Evan took a cautious step forward. She tilted her head. You are not afraid? She asked again. I am not, he admitted. Her brows furrowed in disbelief. No one has said that in a long time, she murmured. She looked around, as if unsure of why she had left her cell. Then she spoke her first full sentence in months. I should not be out here. My power is dangerous. I can handle it, Evan said, though he wasn't sure what he meant. Somehow, he felt safer here with her than in the rest of the station. The engineers were panicking now. The technicians tried to override the doors, force her back into her cell. The alarms blared, but for the first time, Serenya did not panic. She didn't attack. Instead, she took a step closer to Evan, and something strange happened. The air around them seemed to settle, a quiet gravity pulling the chaos into stillness. Evan, distracted, reached out to steady a dangling conduit behind her. His hand brushed her hair accidentally. The world froze. Nothing exploded. Nothing warped. Nothing screamed. Serenya's eyes went wide. She whispered, why didn't my power hurt you? Evan blinked. I don't know, he said honestly. She stepped back slightly, as if unsure whether to flee or stay. Then, slowly, almost hesitantly, she reached her hand toward him again. You are different, she said. No human has ever touched me without being burned. You are not afraid. For the first time, Evan noticed the subtle shifts in her hair. Tiny glimmers of blue and silver moved along the strands, almost like they were alive. It was beautiful, fragile, and full of unspoken power. I'm not here to hurt you, he said softly. I just wanted to know you. Her eyes searched his face. There was disbelief. There was hope. There was something else, too, fear. The fear that had made her withdraw from the galaxy, from everyone. Over the next few days, Evan returned to the observation wing every chance he got. Each time, he learned a little more about Serenya. She was intelligent, incredibly old, and filled with sorrow for her lost race. The Vyrthari, she explained, had once been powerful beyond measure. Their emotions could alter gravity, warp metal, and move mountains. But their power had made them feared, hunted, and eventually, nearly extinct. When she spoke, her words were gentle, almost musical. When she touched Evan's hand, there was a faint warmth, a pulse that could have shattered the station, but didn't. He realized something incredible. She trusted him. And in the Vyrthari way, trust was power. The scientists were watching, terrified. They feared that her trust might awaken her destructive abilities. They warned Evan to stop visiting her. It's too dangerous, they said. You could die. Evan ignored them. Every time he saw her, he felt a connection he could not explain. Every time he touched her hair, even briefly, he felt a strange calm wash over him. Then came the night that changed everything. The base commander ordered Serenya to be transferred to a classified military wing. She would be kept isolated, watched, and studied. Evan overheard the conversation while fixing a generator. He ran to her wing, but the soldiers were already preparing to sedate her. Serenya trembled, her hair shimmering with every emotion, anger, fear, sadness. She looked at Evan. Will you come with me? She asked, her voice breaking slightly. I can't, he said. But I will help you. She nodded slowly. Her eyes were pools of silver light. She stepped back, preparing to submit to the soldiers, but something happened that had never happened before. Her hair glowed brighter, the air hummed, and when Evan reached out, brushing her hair again, the panic in her body calmed instantly. The shimmer in her hair shifted to soft blues and silvers, as if recognizing a friend. The soldiers hesitated, confused. They expected chaos. They expected destruction. But Serenya's power did not lash out. She simply breathed. And in that breath, the station seemed to settle. Evan understood then what he had felt all along. Her power was not a curse. It was not dangerous when shared with someone she trusted. And he realized the truth about her loneliness. No one had ever touched her without fear. No one had ever approached her without seeing her as a weapon. He saw her as someone who needed understanding. And in that instant, the bond between them began. By dawn, Serenya was back in her cell. But something had changed. She no longer sat like a statue. She moved, small gestures revealing subtle trust. Her eyes followed Evan, soft and hopeful. When he left, she whispered words meant for no one but him. Come back. You are the only one who can touch me. Evan walked away with a sense of awe and responsibility. He had discovered something no one else had, the truth behind her fearsome reputation. She was not a monster. She was not a threat. She was alone, and for the first time in decades, someone had reached her heart. As he left the observation wing, he glanced back at her glowing eyes, silver hair shimmering softly in the early light of the station. And he knew one thing for certain. Evan Hale could not sleep. The events of the previous night played in his mind like a strange dream. Serenya, the last Vyrthari, had touched him without harm. She had let him see her without fear. And for the first time in decades, she had smiled, softly, almost shyly. But that smile carried weight. The station commander had plans to move her. She would be taken away to a classified wing, hidden from him, hidden from the rest of the world. Evan knew he had to act. He returned to her observation cell before dawn. The corridors were quiet, empty of soldiers. He had memorized every step, every vent, every camera blind spot. He approached her carefully. Serenya's eyes followed him, glowing faintly in the dim light. "You came back," she whispered. "I promised," Evan said. "I'm not leaving you." She seemed hesitant, then nodded slightly. "You should not. Others, they would hurt you. They do not understand." "I can handle it," he said again. Her hair shimmered softly as she shifted closer to the transparent wall. Evan noticed that her strands glowed in subtle waves, an alien signal of emotion he could not yet read. But he could feel her anxiety, her fear, and her hope all at once. The first challenge came quickly. The commander's voice crackled over the station's intercom. "All personnel, prepare for Vyrthari transfer. Unauthorized presence will be detained." Evan's stomach tightened. The soldiers would move fast. Serenya noticed the tension rising in his body. Her hair shimmered wildly, reacting to his stress. "Calm yourself," she said, her voice soft. Evan took a deep breath and reached toward her. His fingers brushed a single strand of silver hair. Immediately, the turbulence around them seemed to ease. Her glow shifted to soft blue. You're immune," she said. Her voice was a mixture of wonder and disbelief. "No one else has ever touched me without being burned. Why are you not afraid?" "Because I see you, not your power," Evan said simply. Her eyes widened. For the first time, she looked almost human. Almost vulnerable. Evan needed a plan. Soldiers would arrive within minutes. He glanced around the room and noticed a maintenance hatch near the back. It led to the service tunnels that ran beneath the station. It was narrow, dark, and dangerous, but it was their only chance. "We need to leave now," he whispered. She nodded, but her fear was clear. The hair along her arms glowed faintly as she prepared herself. "I have never left willingly. I do not know if I can control it outside this cell." "You can," Evan said. "I'll be with you. We'll go together." They moved quickly, silently, into the shadows. The corridor outside her cell was empty, too empty. Evan had expected guards, but the timing worked in their favor. The station's security was distracted by the early morning systems check. Inside the tunnels, it was cold and dark. Evan led Serenya through twists and turns, occasionally stopping to ensure the lights and senses were avoided. Her hair glowed faintly in the darkness, casting soft silver and blue shadows on the walls. "I have never been this close to a human without fear," Serenya admitted, her voice low. "They all see me as a threat. They want to contain me, control me, or destroy me." "I don't want to control you," Evan said. "I just want you to be free. And safe." Her eyes softened. "You trust me?" "I do," he said. Her hair shimmered brighter. For a moment, the darkness of the tunnels seemed to fade. Evan realized that her power responded not only to her emotions but also to his. His calm, steady presence seemed to stabilize her abilities. Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed through the station. Red lights flashed. "They know we are here," Evan whispered. Serenya tensed. Her hair shimmered wildly, and the air around them quivered. The gravitational distortion of her fear could collapse the tunnels if she lost control. Evan placed a hand gently on her hair, feeling the soft pulse of energy. "Trust me," he said. "I'm right here." Slowly, her hair settled, the glow returning to a soft, steady shimmer. Her fear diminished. Together, they moved forward. They reached the hangar bay, a wide, open space where a shuttle waited. It was heavily guarded. Soldiers had anticipated an attempt to flee. Evan and Serenya froze behind a stack of cargo crates, watching the squad patrol. "They will shoot if we move," Evan whispered. Serenya's hair began to glow again, reacting to his fear. She leaned toward him, trembling. I don't want to hurt them," she said. "You won't," Evan assured her. "Just focus on me. I can help you control it." Carefully, he reached out, brushing his hand along her silver hair. Her body relaxed immediately, the glow of her hair softened, and the tension in the hangar eased. With Evan's guidance, she stepped forward. Her hair shimmered in waves, creating a subtle gravitational field that disarmed the soldiers. Weapons slipped from hands, gear clattered to the floor, but no one was hurt. It was a demonstration of restraint, power, and trust. Once the path was clear, they ran toward the shuttle. The engines were cold but functional. Evan helped Serenya aboard. She hesitated for a moment, then stepped inside. The hatch closed, sealing them from the chaos behind. The shuttle lifted off, moving into the darkness of space. Serenya sat beside Evan, breathing heavily, her hair glowing faintly against the dim interior light. "You saved me," she whispered. "No," Evan said softly. "You saved yourself. I just helped you believe it." Her eyes softened, reflecting the stars outside the window. "No one has ever touched me. No one has ever trusted me. No one dared to love me," she murmured. Evan reached out, gently taking her hand. "You are not alone anymore. I see you, Serenya. Not your power, not your danger, just you." Tears glimmered in her alien eyes. For the first time in decades, she smiled openly. It was a fragile, radiant thing, like the first light of dawn on a frozen world. They flew in silence for a while. Evan studied the readings on the shuttle's console. The station was tracking him, but the path to a nearby uncharted planet was clear. They would have to hide, but it was a start. "Will they come after us?" Serenya asked quietly. "Yes," Evan admitted, "but we can stay ahead. You're not a weapon, they just see you as one. We'll prove them wrong." Her hair shimmered again, pulsing softly. She looked at him with a mixture of fear, hope, and something deeper, trust. "I never thought a human would see me this way," she said. "I thought I would always be alone." "You're not alone," Evan said firmly. "Not anymore." As the shuttle drifted toward the dark planet, a new signal appeared on the radar, a faint, pulsing signal, alien in origin. Evan leaned forward. "What is that?" Serenya's expression changed. Her hair shimmered in alarm. "Vyrthari," she whispered. "Survivors, not extinct, somewhere out there." Evan's eyes widened. "You mean there are others?" "Yes," she said softly, her gaze returning to him. "But they are lost, hiding, afraid of humans. Like I was." Evan placed his hand on hers again. "Then we'll find them, together." Her hair pulsed gently at his touch, not with fear, but with anticipation. For the first time, she looked free. Not bound by the station, not bound by fear. Free because someone had seen her heart, not just her power. The stars stretched endlessly outside the shuttle. Ahead lay the unknown. Danger, discovery, adventure, and for the first time in decades, Serenya had hope, and a companion who would not turn away. Evan smiled, feeling the weight of responsibility and possibility. They were no longer just a human and an alien. They were partners in a galaxy full of secrets, danger, and potential. "Hold on," he said. "Our journey is just beginning." Serenya nodded, her silver hair glowing softly in the shuttle's dim light. Together, they faced the darkness, ready to uncover the mysteries of her lost race and, perhaps, reshape the galaxy in ways no one had ever imagined. End.